you put trust in Nick Bockwinkel, like right to the very end. Nick
I
Bockwinkel
love
was,
Nick Bockwinkel.
oh yeah, Nick Bockwinkel was an awesome guy in that rig, man.
And
He,
at the
he was,
very end, he
what's that? Go ahead, bud.
in the very end, he kind of like Vern Gagne wanted to protect his title, so he gave it to Larry Sabisco, who at the time was his son-in-law.
Yeah, again, keeping it in the family, right? Let's keep everything in the family, right? So, like,
Yeah.
come on.
I don't think Greg Gagne would have made a good AWA world champion. He was more of a I feel like he was more of a mid card guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if he was wrestling now, if he was wrestling nowadays, and he was like a new guy coming in, he'd be like that Ricky guy that was on SmackDown, right?
Yeah, Ricky Gibson of Midnight Heat.
Yeah,
He's an indie tag team. I've heard of them before because I'm like I've recognized that guy before.
yeah. But I think that guy is. We're gonna see more of that guy in the future, though. I believe we're gonna see that.
Well, if you search up the tag team Midnight Heat on the Indies, they're pretty big on the Indies.
Yeah,
They have like an inspiration of like the Midnight Express
hmm
and like the Heavenly Bodies kind of like thing.
yeah, kind of thing.
You know
Yeah,
what I really like is that off subject here, but for old school style tag teams, I really like those the Outrunners.
I've never heard of them.
So they're in AEW. They have their gimmick is like they're an '80s tag team.
Gotcha, gotcha, man. So back to the AWA though. You know, I've done some research on it recently here too. A lot of WWE wrestlers, like majority of WWE wrestlers now, like in back in the 80s and 90s, they actually came from AWA, right? There's like a lot of them. Like
Ric Flair.
AWA had a total of 152 wrestlers during its whole span, and 130 of them were to WWE. It was just amazing, right?
Yeah. A little info. Ric Flair, trained by Vern Gagne, he started in the AWA.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
it was
Dusty
just
Rhodes.
amazing. Yeah, yeah. Dusty Rhodes. There was a loads of them that were trained by Vern Gagne. Is Greg Gagne still around? I don't think so. Eh?
I think he might be still alive.
Yeah, I never heard
I'm
anything
not
else.
sure. I think he might be still alive.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
He's not. Greg is not gone. Yay again. He freaking Greg is not gone yet.
Yeah. Oh,
He's not
Steven.
gone yet.
Yeah, Gagne.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think though too with the AWA when they broke away from the NWA, I think they're one of the bigger companies that actually went to like Winnipeg and like that was one of their bases, right? Was in Winnipeg, and you would never see the WWE or WWF go there or NWA go there. It was always you'd have Stampede Wrestling, and then you'd have AWA Wrestling, basically, right for Canada, right?
Yeah.
And you know, again, that was just a huge thing for these guys, just to break into another territory, another country, and do TV tapings there and TV tapings everywhere else. It was just like Vergani knew what he was doing. There's
Oh, yeah.
no doubt about it. But he was always like really tight with all the money that was coming in, right? You don't want to spend it a little different. You didn't really reinvest in the company. You put it into something else, right?
For example, like Memphis back in the 70s and 80s, there were TV studio shows, so they would only have maybe like 50 people in the crowd. But for years in the 80s, they were like the number one like morning wrestling show rated in all of the United States.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I've seen them a lot of times, and they were. Didn't really watch them as much as I watched Smoky Mountain Wrestling a lot more.
Oh, I love Smoky Mountain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think about 95% of that roster went to WWE.
Memphis was a little bit ahead of their time because they would do a lot of out of the blue things, gimmick wise.
Yeah, yeah. They were about the gimmicks, and I think AWA was just about the wrestling part of it, right? Not
Yeah.
necessarily the gimmicks of it. You know, like they would put the guys in the ring and say, okay, put a show on. I don't care what storyline, put a good show on. And if that match works, then we promote it to another town, into another town, into another town. And that's how Vern Gagne would actually work. He didn't care about storylines. Storylines, fuck it. No big, I don't want it.
So some of my favorite tag team wrestling in the 80s is the AWA, like the Midnight Rockers, who would become the Rockers,
Yeah.
Kurt Hennig and Scott Hall, or
Yeah.
Big Scott Hall, they would say,
Yeah.
or the Destruction Crew, the Beverly Brothers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's where actually Scott Norton got his nickname Flapjack from a promo of him and John Nord in AWA, where John Nord goes, all us, they were like a couple of lumberjacks in the promo. It was probably like 1990 or something like that. He goes in the promo, Scott Norton here, he ate 365 pancakes. So now we're calling him Flapjack Norton. You gotta look up that promo.
Oh yeah, I will. I definitely will today.
Yeah. John Nord, who later became the Berserker.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? Wasn't he okay, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but isn't that Bruiser Brody as well? Or is that Bruiser Brody different?
No, Bruiser Brody freaking died before in the 80s. He got stabbed by Invader in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I remember that part. I just thought that, because the Berserker
kind of looked like him.
Yeah, he looked like almost identical to that, right? Like, holy shit, man, is that really Bruiser Brody? But I didn't know he passed away. I just thought, well, that's going to be Bruiser Brody. And I kept telling my friends that when I was a kid.
He got stabbed by the promoter in the shower. Yeah. Bruiser Brody got stabbed by the promoter in the shower in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Like, later on.
And then I think it was Manny Fernandez had a match against Invader. You can find it on YouTube. Puerto Rico, where he purposely, like 5 times in a row, knees fucking Invader in the head from the top rope. Oh. As payback, as real life payback.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're gonna stab his friend in real life, you're gonna get a beating.
Yeah.
And that's how they did things back then.
Yeah. And
like back then, if you
came back to receipt, right? There's a receipt that he paid for, and that's what he did.
Yeah, back then, if you fucked around in the ring.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you just didn't. You had to protect the business, right? That was the whole thing. And if you hurt the opponent that you're working with, then not only is he out for a while, but so are you. Like they wouldn't find a replacement for that guy that you hurt. There's no way. That's punishment, right? You hurt that guy, so you're gonna be out as well until he comes back, and you're not gonna get paid for it.
Not a lot of guarantees back then.
No, the only guarantee you had was, can you make it to the ring? Can you put on a match? Yeah, okay, there's guaranteed you're gonna get money.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then you're not. We don't want you. It's that simple.
No doubt.
But I've noticed there's a. Go ahead, bud.
No, you go ahead.
But see, I've noticed that there's a. The way I look at it, they had a lot of great backstage interviewers and commentators. Like one of the best of the business actually came from that company in themselves, right? Like we had Eric Bischoff. Okay, great. He was a kid then. Okay, he was doing good. You had Mean Gene Okerlund, which, man, when you let a guy like that go to another company, you know you fucked up somehow. Because even if you let go of Hogan and everybody else, okay. If you let go of Gene, oh, what's happening, man? You know, he was the face of the company, right?
He was, I think Mean Gene was in baseball before wrestling announcing.
Yeah, he was. He was in there. I don't know what part of it he was in. I think he was the one announced, don't get me wrong. But when you screw that up and you get rid of that one guy that was like the face of the company, basically, you know, then you know you've really screwed up somehow.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Mean Gene when he would get pissed off at a wrestler because he'd be blunt. Like I remember in his last year at WCW, he used to make comments like, "Blow it out your ass, O'Hare." Yeah. He's like, and they go to hit him, and all the O'Hare's friends are like trying to stop him, and Mean Gene goes, "I got a fleet of lawyers." Or put that cigarette out. Remember that famous one?
You know what I found great with Mean Gene? He did the one that's SummerSlam. And he was interviewing Rick Rude, and the SummerSlam sign came down.
Yeah. Put that smoke out.
Yeah. He looked behind, he was like, oh, fuck, I don't care. Keep going. Keep doing it.
Yeah, or that one, you ever seen the one he did with Ken Pantera? It was really bad. Where Mean Gene is holding his mouth trying not to laugh. And then he looks behind. Fucking Ken Pantera is doing the promo. Mean Gene turns his head to laugh at someone behind the camera because he doesn't want to see the people looking at him laugh. But you can tell he's laughing. Because Pantera's like, come on. He's like, he was a really bad promo. Like when Ken Pantera came back from out of jail in like 87 in the WWF, His
Yeah.
promos were pretty bad as a babyface.
Oh, they were